Hello. This is really freaking weird because I've literally not made a YouTube video of any kind in about a year. But I wanted to acknowledge that today marks that it has been 6 months since I started sort of transitioning to a plant-based diet, and I'm really happy about it, and I'm really glad that there was very little question that I would make it to this point, and I don't really see myself going back to eating meat, dairy, eggs, that kind of thing. I don't really see myself going back to that anytime soon, if ever. So it's not really a surprise to me that I've made it to 6 months. I really do believe that kind of going in the direction of a vegan diet, and now that I've actually gotten there, is probably one of the best, if not the best, decision I have made in my entire life. And the reason I feel that way is just because I just feel so much healthier. I am so much healthier. I'm happier. I feel just really freaking good. And it hasn't just been veganism that has contributed to that. A lot of that has been that I'm eating more fruits and vegetables. I'm being more mindful about what I eat. I exercise regularly now. A bunch of stuff. And also the fact that changing my diet has helped me realize that some of the health issues I was dealing with had a lot to do with what I was eating, and now I can avoid those things so I don't have those health issues anymore. So I'm gonna explain that a little bit. I've had to deal with some health issues for most of my life that are generally genetic in origin, and some of those are migraines that I've had since I was 9. I have to take a daily preventative so I don't get migraines all the time, and I've had to deal with some chronic pain in the past, and acid reflux. And the weird thing about acid reflux particularly is that generally people aren't really diagnosed with acid reflux until they're 50, and they usually get it over the course of their life. But for me, I was diagnosed when I was 13, and they were literally ruling out everything else first, because they're what the fuck, why does this 13-year-old have acid reflux? And then they realized, oh shit, she does. I would basically get really sick maybe a couple times a week. Usually whenever I would eat something really fatty or greasy, especially meat, I would, my stomach would be really upset. I'd be throwing up. I'd have ridiculously bad heartburn, which is I didn't know what heartburn was at the time. I literally thought I was fucking dying because my chest just hurt so bad when this would happen. And then I was introduced to the magical world of Tums, so that helped, but it didn't fix the problem by any means. So once I was diagnosed with acid reflux, I was prescribed a daily medication to take every day before dinner. It's called omeprazole. It's literally the generic form of Prilosec, but you take it every day. By not eating red meat especially, just about went away, to the point that I don't have to take that medication anymore every single day. I got good substitutions for stuff, and I do not miss eating meat at all. One of the other medical issues that I mentioned that I've had to deal with is migraines. Usually I can manage my migraines to get maybe 2 a month, and that's great. But there are definitely times when I'll have migraines literally constantly for weeks at a time until you do something to interrupt the cycle. Once I started getting rid of dairy and looking into getting dairy alternatives, my migraines got a lot worse, and I was like, why? And I realized it's because I was drinking almond milk. And I was like, okay, I've known nuts have been a trigger for my migraines. And I mentioned it to my neurologist, and she's like, no, I think you're allergic to nuts. And I am allergic to peanuts. I have a mild anaphylactic reaction to them. But it's two different things. Tree nuts and peanut. Technically, peanuts aren't even nuts, which is weird. But the funny thing is that once I was like, oh, so I can't eat nuts, it was oh crap, what am I gonna do now for dairy? And the thing that I wish I had known for the longest time is that almond milk is not the only non-dairy milk product on the market. There's a ton of them, holy crap. And now the one that I drink is called Ripple, and it's made from peas, strangely enough, but it's actually really freaking good, and it tastes like melted ice cream and everything you want milk to be, but it isn't. but Ripple exists and it's freaking great. I also lost about 20 pounds according to my doctor. And it's not like I'm an unhealthy weight. I really want to like make that clear. And according to my doctor, that's a very healthy weight for my height. Something I was always super insecure about was like my stomach sticking out. And that was a thing that I had dealt with for like my whole life. And it was just something I really hated. Like I couldn't wear tight shirts because like my stomach would stick out and like stuff like that. Like I just really hated how that looked. Like I'll show pictures. And the thing that ended up happening is that basically as soon as I stopped eating meat, my stomach shrunk down. Apparently that's a thing that like meat takes a very long time to digest, and I'd imagine it takes me even longer than normal considering that my stomach would literally be a little bit puffed out basically all the time when I ate meat. But it's because it takes so long to digest that your metabolism ends up slowing down, and it's like working really hard and digesting the meat, and it takes a long time, so it's just in your system for longer than vegetables. Meanwhile now my metabolism is like hella quick because I literally just, I mean it's fucking plants. Like you digest plants so quick. Like there's always a thing that people talk about is that like when people are insecure about their bodies, it seems like, oh, like if you fix this one problem, you're just gonna notice another problem. Now that that one problem is gone, I'm good. Like I'm pretty happy. I would suppose like my weight has kind of plateaued where it's like it's probably gonna stay this weight if my diet stays the same. So I'm good where I am right now. And one of the things I wanted to mention was, this was something that I sort of experienced like basically like right around the time that I was like, I don't want to eat meat anymore. I don't have to keep doing this. I had done a decent amount of research into like, you know, how factory farms actually work, and not the idea that cows just live a happy life on a little cute farm and then they never see their death coming, and like it's that they don't even know and they don't suffer. That's not how it happens at all. And once I sort of realized that, I was like, oh shit, this is terrible. I ended up feeling very guilty. Got to the point where I was just like, I don't want to keep covering that up and like burying that down, and how awful I feel like that I'm literally eating the corpse of something that didn't want to die, and I don't even need to survive. Like, once I was like, you know what, how about if I just not? Then it's like, that burden has been lifted, honestly, because it's like, you're no longer supporting animal cruelty on a massive genocidal scale. And once you kind of hit that realization, I know for me personally, I was just like, oh wow, like a weight has been lifted, because it's like I'm no longer contributing to this injustice. You realize that you have the power to, even just within your own life, make a difference. It's amazing. Literally just, there are vegan alternatives for like basically everything. Like the sky is the limit basically with stuff you can make. Like realizing that there's a milk that's made from peas is like the greatest. Yeah, this video is not really intended to be like, you should go vegan, this is how you go vegan. It's more just me saying like, I'm really happy with the way things are going, and I'm very proud of moving away from supporting animal cruelty, and the rewards from it are incredible, which is just being happier and healthier and just feeling so good, like more than ever before, really. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. So, bye bye.